Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel for our first ever Figs in 5. What that is that we're going to take a look at and unbox, review, and share my opinion on whatever action figure or wave of action figures that we decide to do there. And first up today is going to be the Hot Toys Aquaman. And interesting story about this one is that this isn't even my figure. I don't really collect DC at all. Marvel is kind of my thing, and obviously Star Wars. So buddy from work said, hey, I've been collecting all the DC Justice League Hot Toys. Would you like to review Aquaman for your first one? I'm like, well, absolutely. So this is going to be a genuine unboxing. It's not even had the seal broken on the tape, so I'm going to kind of open this up and give you my first impressions of Hot Toys Aquaman right out of the box. So there it is, Justice League Aquaman. Would have been quite a plot twist if we actually opened it up and it would have been something else. So I'm going to go ahead and get the shrink wrap off of this. We're going to open it up and do a full review of this figure here in just a second. And here we go, fresh out of the box, straight from Atlantis, we have Arthur Curry, the Aquaman. First thing I notice immediately is the likeness to actor Jason Momoa. I think they absolutely nailed that head sculpt. And that's one of the things that Hot Toys is always really known for, is the amazing likeness to the actual actors themselves. You got the piercing blue eyes. You do, if you look really closely, have a little bit of the scar on his eyebrow, as well as the freckles in the corner of the eye. I love that attention to detail. I think they did a fantastic job on the paint. I love the brown to gold hair. I think that's a really nice, neat effect. And I think overall this is going to photograph really well for when we do some toy photography. Two drawbacks I don't really like about the hair. I know I'd said I'm a big fan of sculpted hair as opposed to rooted, but when you have long hair that's this long, you can't really tell outside of the box. It really limits you on what you can do for posing. You can't turn it left, you can't turn it right, you can't look up, you can't look down. So I know Hot Toys Anakin has a little bit of a longer hair compared to most figures, but it gives you full posability on that figure. And unfortunately with this one, you really don't have the opportunity to do any looking, and I always liked being able to pose it a certain way to kind of look at the camera and do a little bit more dynamic posing. The other thing about the hair is that if you're a Seinfeld fan, if you turn it here directly, you sometimes get the Elaine Bennis wall kind of thing there. It just looks kind of weird from a little bit certain angles, but I think that's just nitpicking at this point. But overall, the head sculpt is fantastic. But because of that head sculpt, it gives you a kind of a weird, solid torso, a swivel option here. But I guess that is making up for what you can do because of the the sculpted hair. You can't turn the head, so I guess naturally you can only turn the body. So if you're a fan of dynamic posing, unfortunately this is going to kind of be it for what your options are with this figure. So the other thing about that is that if you wanted to do anything dynamic, you're really limited on not only just the arms, but the legs. You have a little bit of the pleather or whatever that texture is here and there. So I don't really think you need to worry about posing, the arms in a certain way. I know some people worry about doing that because you may crack the fabric over time or leave some creases in it. But I don't think you need to worry about that. It seems pretty sturdy and durable. But the legs down here do not move much past, I'd probably say 30 degrees. I'll take it off here and show you in just a minute. But you're really limited on the posability. And that's one of the biggest drawbacks, I think, about this figure. For how good it looks, I wish the suit was a little more sculpted as opposed to being these actual pieces. I wish it was a little bit more like the Black Panther Hot Toys, to where you have full movability and the ab crunch. As far as accessories go, you pretty much just get this as well as some hands. And that's it, but that's kind of just the Aquaman character. He doesn't really come with a lot. His presence is pretty much all he needs. But the trident, I think because you are only getting one accessory, I would have liked to see it as die-cast. I think that would have been a neat little add-on, but instead you get this hard plastic. It's not flimsy by any means, but I really would have been hoping for die-cast. I think that really would have set the figure up to a higher tier. So let me take this off and let me show you it next to me, and we'll take a look and see the final thoughts on this figure. Wrapping up and final thoughts on Hot Toys Aquaman. I want to give this figure a solid 7 out of 10, simply because of the amazing head sculpt. I think the likeness to actor Jason Momoa is spot on, and I'm really looking forward to getting it behind my camera to see just how well it photographs. And if you're not already, obviously follow Kiko Collects on Instagram. Turn on your push notifications so you know when a new post hits so that you don't miss any of the action. The biggest drawbacks, as I've said, is the posability and the movability. For someone who likes to move it behind the camera, I'm going to have my work cut out for me on it. If you're a DC fan, I think this is something you definitely want to add to your collection. Overall, it looks amazing, it simply just doesn't move amazing. I want to thank those that let me borrow their toys to do reviews and photos of. You're a big help and I thank you so much for that. And if you are on this channel, you like what you see, make sure to subscribe, share it with other people. Let me know down in the comments what it is that you want to see or what you don't want to see so that we can make the best content possible for you. Once again, thank you for your support and I'll see you next time.